Okay, so this is the last video for this unit, which means test is coming real quick. Hope you've done your French, English, and Dutch stuff because it's a short unit. All right, the commercial revolution. So we were talking about slave trade up here, okay? And now we have a change in business as a result of the triangular trade and the Columbian Exchange and all that stuff. All right. The word commercial has to do with business. Sometimes you'll see like on the side of the road or whatever, it'll say like commercial realty. Sophie, it'll say like commercial realty. That means realty that you can't buy a house or you can't buy the land and build a house. It's for a business. I just realized I don't have my rings on and I don't know where they are. Squirrel. That's weird. Oh, I'm sorry. The dogs hunt squirrels. And so when we say squirrel, they go look. Okay, so anyway, a revolution is a change. So what we have here is a massive change in businesses. All right? You should have learned this word in the 8th grade. Oh, my rings. How funny. When people just give you something, that's scary. Thank you. Anyway, this word right here, you should have learned in the 8th grade. Mercantilism. I had a dog issue. Is that reminding you mercantilism? Are you having like a Mercantilism basically says he who has the most wealth also has the most power. Duh, right? Because it's not always true. You can have power and not have a lot of actual wealth. But the idea of mercantilism is he who has the most wealth, like stockpiling gold and silver is what's going to start happening, especially with these two countries. England and Spain are going to be the biggest proponents of mercantilism. Again, this idea that the more wealth I accumulate, the more power I have in the world. Spain is like actually finding gold down here with the Aztec, and then of course down here with the Inca and in South America and all that good stuff. Okay, piece of hair. England isn't really finding gold, but they're getting wealth. All right, from cash crops. All right, and really truly they are stockpiling. My brain just went to Queen Elizabeth. This is the time. Do you remember when we had the Spanish Armada? I know I did it in the last unit, but remember, all of this stuff is happening at the same time. Okay? And one of the things that Queen Elizabeth did is she like hired pirates. Okay, if you're a hired pirate, remember I taught a class about piracy. If you're a hired pirate, you're not actually a pirate. You're a privateer. But she basically hired pirates to attack Spanish ships and steal their gold and take it back to her. Oops. But they're trying to get as much wealth as possible because, again, in their mindset, the country with the most wealth has the most power. Again, that's not always true. You could have power. I mean, North Korea is not a rich country, but do they have power? Well, if they have nukes, they do. Okay, so just be aware of that. Okay. Oh yeah, businesses. I was like, where am I going now? Businesses. We are starting to have businesses now that are called joint stock businesses, joint stock companies. Okay. If you own a business, you are responsible for everything. If your business is in debt, you are responsible for paying that debt. Now, conversely, if your business makes like a massive profit, you get all the profit. Yay! But the negative of that is if you're in debt, you pay it all. There's also a bit of an issue with starting a business in that the startup monies that are needed to like start a business are really expensive. It takes a lot of money to start a business. A lot of these people back then, they don't have that kind of money. Okay. So the idea of a joint stock company, we're going to talk about stocks more like once we get to the Great Depression and stuff. But when you buy stock in a company, you buy a small piece of ownership in that business. They're called shares because it's like you are sharing in ownership. Okay. You can buy however many stocks you can afford. You could own 0.1% of Apple, or you could own 20% of Apple and be crazy rich. Um, if the business goes under, you have to pay 0.1% of the debt. Or if you own more than that, you pay whatever you own, like whatever percentage you own. The idea here is that one man or woman doesn't have total control of the whole thing. Although, whenever you're looking at like a CEO of a company or whatever, okay, they're going to own at least 51 shares, at least a majority. Okie dokie. That's how they like get to be, it's their business. Okay. So ask your parents if you have any stocks. Some of your parents, in fact, every year I have kids, are like, oh, every year, oh, there's kids that find out that their parents open stocks for them. Oh, I've got like something in my eyeball. It's eating my eye. But anyway, they have stocks. Okay, ask. You might be surprised. That being said, we are having a weird situation too, which we don't think about, with countries starting to go to war. They're threatening to go to war over trading stuff. So the countries actually agree to have monopolies on certain things. What you're going to end up with over here in Africa, Portugal is going to have a monopoly on trading South African goods. Nobody else can trade South African goods except Portugal. I think I did this out of order. Yeah. Sorry. Let me think. France. France up north. Here we go. They're going to have a monopoly on fur trade. Okay. The Dutch and the English are going to have a monopoly on spices in the Spice Islands. Okay. Now, at first, these monopolies last. Eventually, other countries are like, forget this, I'm going to trade this because. But at first, they come to this agreement that only one country will trade this. Okay. Again, that doesn't last. Okay. Greed, wealth takes over. But the most, like, I don't know, famous, I guess, of these companies is the East India Trading Company. Originally, it's the Dutch East India Trading Company, and you should know the English took it over. There are a whole bunch of them. The Hudson Bay Trading Company. You have, I can't think of what the Spanish one is called. You have a Spanish something trading company, but I can't think of what it's called. These are businesses. They're joint stock companies where like several people own pieces of these businesses. Okay. But what's crazy is they have power like a country. The Dutch East India and English East India trading companies could make treaties. They could declare war. Can you imagine if like Walmart and I don't know, Kroger, we don't have Kroger in Midland, HEB, Walmart and HEB decided, you know what? You're selling our stuff. We're going to war. Is that weird? Yes. But you would have businesses fighting. Y'all have seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, right? Especially the second, third, and I think fourth one, where where you have Davy Jones, the guy who controls Davy Jones, the bad guy. He's part of the East India Trading Company. He even has, let me show you. He even has the East India Trading Company, what is it called? Symbol right here. Yeah, see? He even has it. In fact, look right here. There's a part of the movie where somebody tells Jack, "Oh, Jack Sparrow, oh, you had a run in with the East India Trading Company, right?" And you see where he's been tattooed. That's just the movie, okay? But the idea is that, yeah, he made the East India Trading Company mad. Yeah, oh, here. Look who's in the background. Queen Elizabeth. I was looking to see if there was a picture of the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. Mm-mm. Yeah, this guy. This guy. Um, this is from Pirates of the Caribbean. Look right here. Okay. Right here. So you probably didn't even notice this stuff. That's like a barrel of beer. Okay. So anyway, the East India Trading Company, whether it's Dutch or later English, is incredibly rich. And it's not just one person that owns it. It's this new idea of everybody kind of shares. But again, where like I said, the good thing is like you make profit that way. But the bad thing is if the business goes bankrupt, if it goes under, you have to pay. Okay? That's a whole new change in how businesses are going to be run. And guys, we still do that today. People buy stocks. Really seriously, ask your parents if you have stocks in your name or if they have stocks and ask them what they are. On your phone, and like in class, we look at this too. Crap, where is it? On your phone, you have an app called Stocks. Wait, there we go. Okay, and you can look at the stocks. Right now, what is today? July 18th, June 18th, 2020. Right now, it's hard to see. I don't have any pens in here. Here, I'll use my straw. Apple, right here, is up 351. What does that mean? Oh, no, it's not. It's up 14 cents. There we go. I was looking at the wrong number. It's up 14 cents. Can you see it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If it's red, it's down. Let's see. Ooh, look at Disney. I bet Disney jumped big time. Right here. It's up. I can't see it. Disney's up 72 points. Hmm. Nike. Ooh, Nike. You guys go out and buy some Nike shoes. Nike's down 76 cents. Starbucks is down. Go get you. I bet in the morning it's at 8, 7, 8 in the morning. I bet Starbucks is always up. When we looked at these the past few years, it's really fun to look at Starbucks because whenever I have my morning classes, Starbucks is up. Whenever I have my like afternoon classes, Starbucks is down. It's based on how much you buy. AT&T is up zero point 0.9 cents right now. So anyway, if it's in red, there we go. They're losing some money. If it's in green, they're getting money. Yeah. And y'all, it changes like every 2 seconds. Anyway, okay. The last little section that we need to do, we need to talk about some ladies who revolt. The first one is a woman in Africa. Okay? It's down here in this part of Africa. All right? She's part of a people called the Matamba. The word is right here. The Matamba tribe. All right? The Matamba people are right next to something that we think of today as the Congo. Okay? The Portuguese had been friends with the Matamba for years. That was one of the tribes that they were buddies with, they were friends with. Okay? In fact, this woman, her name is Anna. Where's my notes? Nzinga. I just love saying that. It's like Sheldon, Bazinga, but it's Nzinga. Anna Nzinga. Anna Nzinga and the Mataba people, most of them, the majority of them, are Christian. They've been Christianized by the Portuguese. Okay, in fact, Anna Nzinga's godfather was the Portuguese governor. Okay, so like they got along well with the Portuguese. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Well, something starts happening. The people of the Congo is one of the tribes that the Portuguese are using to enslave other Africans. Okay? Well, the Congo is starting to enslave the Matamba. Huh. The Matamba go to Portugal and say, dude, we're friends. They're enslaving us. And Portugal's like, oh, oops. Portugal's getting a little bit greedy, and they don't really care. Anna Nzinga takes that a little personally. Here's Miss Anna. My stupid arrow is gone. There we go. There she is. This is Miss Anna Nzinga. Isn't she pretty? I love her. I just love her. She's cool. Okay, so Anna goes to her governor, her godfather, the governor, and is like, dude, you're not gonna help? So she moves her entire tribe. The whole people group moves to a new place that nobody lives on. Okay? She then runs into another group of Europeans in this area. The Dutch. The Dutch have shown up and they're like, hi. And she's like, hey, want to help us fight the Portuguese? Anna Nzinga is going to make an alliance with the Dutch, and together they're going to fight the Portuguese. Now, they don't kick the Portuguese like out, but they do kick the Portuguese away enough, they push them back enough that Anna and her people, the Matamba people, they have some freedom. They also push the Congolese people, I just love that word, Congolese. They push the people of the Congo away too, so that they're free, like they're okay now. And then it creates this really cool alliance between the Matamba people and the Dutch. Okay? So now we have, oh, come on. Okay, here we go. Now we have another place, another country. No longer in Africa. We're looking at the Caribbean. Yeah? Okay. We have a woman named Queen Nanny. Queen Nanny. Okay? She's not a queen like in a European type sense, all right? But Queen Nanny. She's the queen of a bunch of people called the Maroons. That's weird. Maroons are runaway slaves. This right here, I think it's such a cool statue. This right here is a statue in Jamaica of one of the Maroons. Runaway slaves who would get away to an island and they would set up a little republic. There are Like we know that some of the Maroons were on small islands around Jamaica. There are some places around Haiti, okay, but basically in this area right here, they lived on very small, kind of like uninhabited islands, okay, that the English weren't really to yet. Technically, they were British islands, but the English hadn't quite gotten to and like actually had people on the ground yet, okay? Okay, so you're a bunch of Maroons, you're a bunch of like escaped slaves. How do you live on these islands without drawing attention to yourself? Do you create a big, what is it, plantation so you can feed yourself? No, because they're going to see that. As ships go past, they're going to see that. So what do? Well, you just attack British ships and steal their stuff. Queen Nanny is right here on this bill from Jamaica. Okay, the real bill doesn't say sample, it's just a picture. But she's on this bill. We don't really know what Queen Nanny looked like exactly. This is an artist rendition. This is what you see all the time. If you Google her, this is what you're going to see. Okay. But she was in charge of this particular group of Maroons on the island of Jamaica. Well, she makes some alliances that are kind of surprising. She makes some alliances with pirates. Look. Here we go. She makes alliances with pirates. The pirates go and attack British ships. They bring the provisions, the food, the stuff back to the Maroons, and they all live happy. We call her Queen Nanny, but again, she's not like a queen. They kind of rule, like the Maroons kind of ruled this area. It's not really a normal republic either, but kind of like a council. Okay. They all kind of had, well, not they all, a group of them kind of had like a little say. Guys, look at what we have here with these notable revolts. What do you notice about the revolutionaries? First of all, they're both ladies. Hmm. We usually think of men being revolutionaries. We don't think of a woman being a revolutionary. These are revolutionaries. What else are they? Queen Nanny was an escaped slave. Nzinga is not. She is African. Both women, both African. And they both put up like a pretty big deal resistance against their countries. Portugal, well, against European countries. Portugal on one side, and then of course England on the other. We have two alliances that are made with pirates, with Queen Nanny, and then of course you have with Anna and Nzinga, the Dutch. Yeah, I just like that. They're both ladies, and they're both African. Hey, guess what? Das ist alles. Test tomorrow. You better start studying. Bye, guys.